Hello everyone. Today we are going to see respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient is also known as respiratory ratio. Let's see what is this respiratory ratio. It is the ratio of volume of carbon dioxide evolved to the volume of oxygen consumed. We know very well during respiration, different substrates undergoes oxidation and releases energy. For this they require oxygen, and during this process carbon in different substrates they undergo oxidation and gets converted into carbon dioxide and gets evolved during this process. The ratio between these two gives RQ. RQ is nothing but respiratory quotient. In living cells, different molecules can act as respiratory substrates. It may be either carbohydrate, fats, proteins, or organic acids. Though different respiratory substrates are available, usually cells prefer carbohydrates. Even in carbohydrates, different types are available. Though different types are available, glucose is the most preferred respiratory substrate in living cells. Glucose, when it undergoes oxidation, it utilizes 6 molecules of oxygen. At the end of oxidation, it produces 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water. What you see here is the net gain from this process. Along with it, it also produces energy for the living cells. In order to find RQ, we should know how many molecules of carbon dioxide are produced and how many molecules of oxygen are consumed. So if you see, it is 6 for both the cases. So 6 by 6 gives 1. Normally, carbohydrates have RQ 1. When carbohydrates are not available, cells prefer to use fats as a respiratory substrate. Here the example that we have taken is tripalmitin. 2 molecules of tripalmitin, when it undergoes oxidation, it utilizes 145 molecules of oxygen, and during this process of oxidation, 102 molecules of carbon dioxide are released and 98 molecules of water are produced along with the release of energy. In order to calculate RQ, let's see how many molecules of carbon dioxide, and let's write that in the numerator. So 102 should be in the numerator and 145 should be in the denominator. 102 divided by 145 will give 0.7. Normally, RQ of fats will always be lesser than 1. When carbohydrates and fats are not available, cells start utilizing proteins. RQ of proteins will be closer to 0.9. The range will be 0.8 to 0.9, and this is also lesser than 1. That is, it is lesser than RQ of carbohydrates, but it is slightly more than fats. Now let's see about RQ of organic acids. 2 examples that we have taken here are oxalic acid and malic acid. RQ of oxalic acid is 4 and RQ of malic acid is 1.33. If you see, it is more than 1, that is, it is more than RQ of carbohydrates. If we see respiratory quotient of different respiratory substrates, we can easily find one pattern. Carbohydrates have RQ of 1. Fats and proteins have RQ lesser than 1. Organic acids have RQ value more than 1. Another thing also we have to observe here. We have to observe how many oxygen atoms and how many carbon atoms are present in the respiratory substrates. In the case of glucose, number of carbon atoms and oxygen atoms are same. So, numerator and denominator are same. That's why we are getting 1. In the case of tripalmitin, if you see, number of oxygen atoms are lesser than number of carbon. So these carbon, in order to undergo complete oxidation, they require more number of oxygen molecules from outside. So totally 145 molecules of oxygen are required to release 102 molecules of carbon dioxide. That is why the RQ value is lesser than 1, because numerator is lesser but denominator is more. In the case of proteins also same thing happens, where number of oxygens in the molecule are lesser than number of carbon. But you see, organic acids, you compare how many oxygen atoms and how many carbon atoms are present in these molecules. Definitely their number is more than number of carbon atoms. As number of oxygen is more in these molecules, they require only lesser number of oxygen from outside for oxidation purpose. As numerator is more than denominator, the RQ of organic acids are always more than 1. So far, whatever we have seen is only for aerobic respiration. Let's see one example from anaerobic respiration. The example that we have taken here is alcoholic fermentation. When glucose enters into the process of alcoholic fermentation, it produces 2 molecules of ethyl alcohol and releases 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. If you see, there is no consumption of oxygen because this process itself is coming under the category anaerobic respiration, where it happens in the absence of oxygen. So in the numerator, we have to write number of molecules of carbon dioxide that are released. So let's write 2. In the denominator, as there is no oxygen consumption, we have to write it as 0. So the RQ of alcoholic fermentation is infinite. Now that we have seen what is RQ or respiratory quotient, how to calculate respiratory quotient, and how this RQ value differs for different respiratory substrates. But one important thing that we have to understand here is whenever living cells or living organisms they consume food, they do not take pure carbohydrates or pure fats or pure proteins as their food. If you see, usually it will be a mixture. RQ of mixed diet will be closer to 0.85. This you can understand if you add RQ of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, and if you take average, it will be closer to 0.85. This RQ value has clinical significance. Even without doing biochemical tests, we can easily say what kind of respiratory substrate is undergoing oxidation within the living system just by calculating how many molecules of oxygen are consumed and how many molecules of carbon dioxide are evolved. Respiratory quotient is the last topic in the lesson respiration in plants. In the next video, we will see one short video or crash course on respiration in plants, in which we will quickly revise the entire lesson.